Walker.
And I'm Evie Barron Hernandez.
And we are so excited to bring you into this amazing and phenomenal place that we are creating called the Brush Lounge. Tell everybody what you hope, Evie, that people will gain from being here.
Well, Monique, I'm so excited because we have so many amazing topics that we want to cover in the Brush. I know that you're so dedicated to women and really empowering women, and there's so many topics that touch us on a day-to-day basis. And I love what the Brush is all about. When you first came to me and you said, Evie, this is something I want to do, and how you describe the Brush is really truly what I feel, what got me on board. How did you describe it? The brushes.
Our brushes with love, life, and everything in between. And what are those brushes? Those brushes are those mishaps, those abrupt things that come into our lives and change our lives. They're life-altering situations that come. Some of them change our lives for the better. Sometimes they change our lives and it's not for the better. But when they change our lives and it's not so good, how do we pick ourselves back up after a huge plummet or fall? These things turn into traumas, but they can also turn into victories and triumphs, and that's what this place is all about.
Right, right. And I think how we met was through a brush. Life. Just happened to be a brush. So how so many things happen in life is you have a brush with destiny. And things happen. And so here we are. And we plan on bringing some amazing guests to you, some experts in their field, and I know Monique knows so many amazing people.
She does too.
And
she does too.
So we are looking forward to just having fun with you and just having good conversation.
And this is a lounge where you get to participate. If there is a topic that you would like to share, follow us on Instagram under The Brush Lounge. Follow us on Facebook, The Brush Lounge. As we see where this goes and how it grows, our hope is that it become more interactive and more engaging. We're sitting at an amazing restaurant who've allowed us to be to do this. Actually, they opened up this opportunity way back in 2014. I didn't move on it, but then I did. But we'd like to fill this place up with you, with guests. Let's dine together. Let's do some deep connecting and some belonging, some simple belonging, and to find safety amongst each other. I think one of the things that we have truly lost as women is our ability to deeply connect. Gwen was just here for an interview just before this segment that we're doing now, and one of the things that we were talking about cognitive behavioral therapy, and one of the things that she did, that she says she'll do in therapy, is just lean over, hug, and touch. Simple touch has lost its value. Doesn't it feel good? It does. But it has been so manipulated that we're afraid to do it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying everybody, but for those of us who may have struggled with things like this is a community where we can get some of that. We have two ways for you to interact with us. One is the Brush Podcast, which is on Apple iTunes, Google Play, and also on Spotify, and it will be in the Brush Lounge. I have landed some dream interviews, and I just want to share with you a little bit about who you can expect to see coming up in the lounge. The Amanda Steinberg. I don't know if you've ever read the book Worth It, but we met over social media, just a brush. I don't know if it was supposed to happen or what, but when I read this book about Worth It, she has put together some amazing principles for how to bounce back after losing everything with money. And she even has programs that you can take advantage of. Just before the holidays, I decided I'm just going to write and ask. If she says no, I'll be okay. She didn't. She said yes. And so we're going to be interviewing Amanda Steinberg on the podcast, and also some great friends of mine who have really, really soared in the entertainment industry. I'm really excited about that. You're going to hear from them, where they are now, what it takes to be in Hollywood, the myths and the misperceptions about Hollywood. One of my amazing friends who is a writer at ABC. I've got some of the most phenomenal people that you ever dreamed of hearing from personally, talking to us on the podcast about talent management, because so many people are how do you say, misled about what it really takes to break into the industry. So you're gonna hear some acting instructors, all kinds of people who are really blazing the trail and doing some amazing things in Hollywood. And then in our trauma section of our lounge, we're gonna be talking to some amazing therapists, psychotherapists, psychologists, psychiatrists, and all of these people have done amazing things as well. Wonderful women who are just freely sharing. We wanted them to share, not because everybody has a problem, we're not trying to say that, but if we have one, maybe by having these conversations with them, we can warm up and open up and have a safe place to have a conversation about trauma, mental health, mental illness. So many of us have kind of suppressed that dialogue, but a lot of celebrities are beginning to open up about it, and so because they are, more and more people are being able to open up about it. I think that Evie and I bring our own stuff to the lounge that we've had to overcome.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm really, really, really excited about Evie being here because at one time in her life, and she'll tell you this herself, she was tipping what, 300 pounds?
Almost 300 pounds.
And look at this gorgeous lady today. So I really wanted Evie to share things about food and help us to understand our diet, meal plans, those kinds of things. And so in an upcoming segment, we're going to be talking about food disorders, eating disorders, and how Evie journeyed from a brush with food to this amazing and triumphant life that she's living now, looking cute and fine and beautiful and amazing and all of that kind of thing. We're going to talk about how easy it was, and we're going to talk about the tough times as well. So that's what this lounge is all about. We're so happy that you are here. There are some amazing books that we have been reading, and you can read along with us. Evie and I started out as Women Speak coaches.
Leaders, yeah.
And leaders. And we are still doing that. So if you'd like to join Women Speak, we'd love to help you to navigate storytelling, help you to find your message, and then help you to hone in on it and be brave and confident to talk about it. When that venture happened, another venture happened, and we both are now a part of the BOMB, which is a coaching program that helps us to understand how to lead in the coaching industry for family recovery. And we don't know if we'll become family recovery coaches in particular, but the skills and the information that we're learning in this program can help us to navigate so much, even the navigation of dialogue here in the lounge.
Yeah, it's really for life coaching. Life coach certification, I think, is what we're going for. But one of my clients, Beverly Buncher, she actually is the CEO of BOMB, and it stands for Be a Loving Mirror.
That's correct.
And she is an amazing. We love you, Beverly.
She's coming to the lounge. She's coming to the lounge. Yes.
But really, her method of recovery, family coaching is based around being a loving mirror to your loved one who is dealing with substance use, and it's just truly an amazing approach to helping your loved one with substance use. So hopefully we'll get her soon and into the lounge. So
and I've had the opportunity to meet her, and I've had the opportunity to attend one of her retreats. I've had the opportunity. Now I'm a student in the coaching program. But Bev is exactly what this book says that she is. She actually did this journey. First, she did this work with her own husband, and he is still in recovery.
Yeah.
And one of her biggest advocates, these two people who were loving married couples, how they turned their marriage into a real loving experience after addiction. And so every day that I'm in the coaching session, I appreciate someone who will do the work, continue to do the work and build a whole brand and all kinds of tools to help other people with the program. So what is your brush? Her brush was a brush with addiction with her husband, and she took it and turned it into a program that is now changing the lives of hundreds, maybe even thousands of people, of families. We need family restoration. But my question, and the reason that I brought Bev's book today, is because I'd love for you to read it. Go to her website. We'll put the information down where you can get it. Buy this book. Maybe you don't have a family in your a family member in some type of a substance addiction, but learning how to be a loving mirror to any situation in your life, this book can help you to transform with that. The big thing is, what is it that's happened in your life that you can now turn into something positive? This was a bad situation for her at one time. A brush, a brush with, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna turn away from this relationship, or am I gonna stay in? And look at what she did with it. She took it and turned it into something unique, amazing, and powerful. And not only is she helping survivors, families who are in support of family members with addiction, but she's also training other people to do the work also. So she's putting out coaches all the time. So think about what has happened in your life and what is the purpose of that? What can we find that's in that situation that can turn to something more meaningful, deeper, bigger, and more powerful? So for me, my brush, I've just always wanted to get women together to have conversations, real conversations. And so this show, the podcast, the website, the community, this is part of me pushing forward and being brave about something that I was so willing to put everybody else out in front of the camera and wasn't really willing to step out there myself. I'm doing it now. And Evie is joining me on this. So Evie has talked about the weight loss, but what's next for Evie? Is it going to be a cooking book? Is it going to be cooking segments? Is it going to be a transformation for more women who have, an eating disorder or needing advice and help and support with weight management? What is it? I don't know. But in this space, I'm hoping in a year's time or in 6 months' time or in 2 years' time that we see more of what all of us can do together. What's that dream? What's that thing that you're holding on to? And what can we do to help you to get that thing out of you and into the world? There's another book that Evie and I are reading or have had to read because of class, but it's been such a game changer in my life. True Purpose. So many times we won't pursue what it is that we want in life because we don't know what our purpose is. And I mean, golly, it's crazy to be 55 years old, 50 or 44 years old, or 33 years old, and just discovering our purpose. Purpose hunting is what Mr. Tim Kelly talked about. Get this book and read it. I picked it up, could not put it down. In this book, you will learn what your essence is. You will learn what your gifts are. You will learn what your mission is and your message. When you can pull all of this together, it makes such a confident and bold you, and you are accepting of your own uniqueness. And so,
you know what I thought was so interesting about that whole process was that he said, what you think your true purpose is, isn't.
Yeah.
So you go around thinking, this is what my purpose is. And when you do this work, you realize that your purpose really is something totally different.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting to do this work. And it does take work to really figure out what your purpose is.
So many of us go through life, taking on a career and a job. But if you're tired, you don't really enjoy getting up, doing that, you don't get a lot of fulfillment out of doing that thing, you may not be operating in your purpose. Or it may be a part of your purpose, you just have not discovered all of your purpose. And so we're going to be talking about the different books that we are reading in the lounge. I'm going to be posting some stuff Amanda Steinberg. If you are starting over, you have nothing, and you want to know how to get started again. Her mom was in her 50s, and she had to start all over from nothing, and she did it. And we're going to be talking to Amanda Steinberg on our podcast, and some other financial gurus as well. Anything Brene Brown works for us.
We love Brene.
Yeah, we do. We love Brene Brown.
That should be our goal, is to get Brene
She's right here in Houston, huh?
We're putting
Why
it
don't
out
we do
there.
that? That would be phenomenal. And then the other thing that I do that I think is so therapeutic, but it just takes work to do it. Journaling. I brought a bunch of them. For some reason, over the Christmas holidays, I got so many journals for Christmas, and I didn't bring all of them. I would need a wagon to bring all of them. And I also wanted to share that one of the things that I do with journaling also is using my iPad. If you go through my iPad, I have over 5,000 notes in here. So whenever I get a brainstorm, whenever I get a aha or something, I've been writing it down over many years, and now I've been able to categorize them and organize them and put them in perspective. And so as I've looked at my journal notes, they're just not, scribbling anymore. I'm seeing over years that this stuff is coming together, and it has meaning. And so this is a way that we can brave a path to writing a book, creating a program, creating a message, creating a speech, or something like that. These are things that we can help you to be able to do. So enough about us and enough about what we're doing here. Join us. Stay tuned. We'd love, love, love to have your input about what's happening here. We're excited about it, and look for more to come real soon. Anything, Evie, you want to say?
And if you know of anyone who has read a book or is an expert in something that would make it for a great topic for us to interview, please send them our way.
Yeah. And if you know someone who has had a health recovery, we've met some amazing people who doctors have said, give up, you're not going to be here very much longer, and these people are winning, and they are still alive and still doing amazing things. These cancers, these lupus, these things have gone away from their lives, autoimmune issues, these types of things. So look for those guests in the lounge as well. So thank you so much. The Brush Lounge is about conversations about our brushes with love, life, and everything in between.